Good morning, my lovely, lovely peeps, my students, friends, colleagues. This is Dr. Maya. It's Monday morning, 7:45. Hello from Joyzy. আমার বাঙালি শ্রোতাদের নমস্কার. Today's Career Success PSA is about distress tolerance. It's a concept that's very important in learning to be successful in academics, in careers, in life, in pretty much everything, in relationships. So those two words, distress and tolerance, is what I would like us to think about today. So I woke up and I started thinking about how to think about distress tolerance in a way that would kind of make it funny, but also keep it real for people in a way that they would remember. And this is the best I could come up with. It was a lot funnier in my head, I promise you. But practicing distress tolerance is like saying to fear, screw you, but also making sure that you're using protection. What does that mean? Distress tolerance, resilience, grit are phrases and words that have become very common in the cultural parlance in the last 20 years or so. And in case you haven't read or listened to Angela Duckworth's book, Grit, do. It's interesting and empowering. But the idea of distress tolerance is this. Doing it, screwing the fear but using protection because you don't want to get sick this is what it looks like. You step into the experience that's distressful, and our fight-flight instinct goes into protection mode, starts saying, world's going to fall apart, life's going to be over, this is a bad idea, don't do it, don't stick your neck out, don't put yourself at risk. And we need to respect that fear because it is very much about survival as a species. And at the same time, we need to understand when the fear is valid and when it is fear that can be approached with a little bit of space and compassion and gentle courage. One of the definitions of courage is feeling the fear but doing it anyway. And here's the fact. Everyone's scared. I wouldn't say all the time, but a whole lot of the time. So for the younger audiences out there, in your teens, in your 20s, younger, if you're looking at the grown-ups and thinking they've got it figured out, they're not scared, when I get to their age, I'll feel the same way, we're all lying. Most of us are scared a lot. The difference is people who have learned to manage that fear kind of understand where the fear is, how would I put it, that it's malleable, that we can work with it. So folks who have the training to practice distress tolerance do better in their life decisions and their career decisions. Because it's important to be okay with some level of discomfort. It's vital to be okay in career success, to be uncomfortable, to be in new situations, in new rooms, speaking to new people without giving in to full-blown thinking traps like mind reading or globalizing or catastrophizing. Because when we are able to tolerate distress well, in healthy ways, using protection, and we keep doing that activity over and over again, after a while the distress goes down. So in the counseling world, we also call this the practice of desensitization, and there's also the concept of exposure therapy. But the idea, it's also inoculation, vaccines. So the idea is just a little bit of what's scary, done in a safe way, can help us understand that, okay, I did that and the world did not crash. And it gives us the confidence to do it again. So what does distress tolerance look like in practice? I was chatting with a student this weekend, one of my lovely, lovely coaching students, and she was fretting about an application she sent out and hasn't heard back from. And in this case, she had the contact information of the person. And she really was, struggling with the fear of what happened to it. Did the person get it? Do they like it? Did I do something wrong? I haven't heard back. So that distress was real, right? So I told her, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to hang up, and you're going to find the phone number of the person. And it was there, openly available, so clearly the person is okay with people calling. And have a conversation. So there were a few seconds of silence on the other side, and then she said, "You mean now?" And I said, "Yeah, now. And then you're going to call me back and give a report of how it went." And to her credit, and this is where I adore my students, because all of you all are so brave, so much braver than you give yourselves credit for. She called the person. They had an amicable conversation. The person was a little surprised, but the chat went for a few minutes. They agreed that they're going to make an appointment to talk further. They hung up. She called me back, and I was like, "Did the sky fall?" "No." "Are you a little anxious and sweaty and breathing hard?" "Yeah." "But the world didn't end. The sky didn't fall." And I'm using the phone call as just an example, right, of things that we can do so that we realize, A, that we are actually capable of doing it. There's just no other way to find out but by doing it, right? But we do it in safe ways, so with people whom we can use to fall back on for support right after. So that's where I talk about the protection, right? Distress tolerance is extremely, extremely important in career success, because life's tough. Anybody out there who's thinking that when I finish my degree, I'm going to walk into the job and everything's going to be fun and easy, it's not. It's a different chapter post academics. It has its own challenges, it has its own joys, but it's not meant to be easy. And the fun part comes a long time later. So when students walk in saying, "I want to have fun," I'm like, "You will, but it's going to take a while." Because first you have to feel like you know what fun even looks like in that context. But distress tolerance is what lets us get from the place of, "I want to have fun," to, "Oh, wow, look, I'm actually pretty competent at this role and I'm having fun." But that path in between requires a lot of being okay with not having fun, not being comfortable. And the false script out there is that if you're not having fun, there must be something wrong with the job or there's something wrong with you. Neither are true, right? It's okay to feel uncomfortable. That doesn't make you less. Right? It's okay to feel fear. That makes you human. It's okay to step into a situation that is a little scary and do the job, however scared you feel, and then leave, and you can have a meltdown with your best friend or your mentor. It's okay. Have the meltdown. Have the decompensation moment. But the thing is, you're going to remember that you stepped up and you did it, and the sky didn't fall. That's the key thing to remember, is that the sky doesn't fall as much as our primitive brain wants us to believe, because it's just trying to protect us in a big, bad, chaotic world. Pick up the phone, send that email, send me a DM, right? Just take the step, because it's, yeah. So, screw the fear, use protection. Bye.